Okay, I'm back again, and look at these flowers. They're very, very simplified passion flowers, because see that blob? That's a butterfly. Now, in order to do a butterfly, you do the flower first. Now, this one's going to be a monarch, so it's going to have orange and white, and the white you have to use to cover, because if you don't, it's never going to cover. And so what I usually do is I do one half of the wing, okay? And then I go around and I go, okay, I'm gonna do the other half of the wing. It's pretty much a duplicate of this side. So once you have one half done, it's a lot easier to do the other side. So you take this orange and white that you have here, and you could take some of that nice red color you made earlier. So if you look, and you'll see people do this, you know, the whole thing with finger, and I use this. So I use the brush handle. Look at that. So you measure it, and then you put it across, see? So if this side is this long, this side should be about the same, so it's a fairly close guess. And by doing that, you're going to get it proportionately a lot closer to where it needs to be, so you don't end up with one giant wing. And you can also measure it this way too if you want, but since they're right next to each other, I can kind of just eyeball it. Okay, it goes up like this, and then it comes over, and then this wing kind of comes out here like this. Okay, so then you can take this, I go, okay, and then this. Oh, it's pretty darn close. So it's symmetrically and proportionately correct. So you need to fill all this in, and wherever you're going to do a butterfly, this is what you're going to do. So this butterfly has his wings outspread, you know. Now you may decide you want to do a butterfly over here, but his wings are going to go like this. So what you can do is do the same thing. You figure out where his wing's going to be, and that wing is straight up pretty much. If you look at that one you just did, just think about that same shape. And you're going to do the same thing. Okay? And this little sucker's pretty pointed. It kind of comes up like this. And it comes down, curves around, and it kind of does this. And then this part comes out like this. So if you look at it, it's very similar to this one. That shape, that shape. You need to look at shapes. Don't get all caught up in details. Details are later. So once you get this to where you think this is a pretty good dimensionally correct size, then you can fill it up with paint. This is where you do use more paint. And you can also decide whether you're going to see both wings or one wing. So like if this is one wing, it may come down here, but say if it's two wings, you can have that other one come slightly out and slightly over like this. See? Now that's two wings. So then I'm going to go back and take my liner brush that I used before, and that happy little dark red color that we used on those vines and those other flowers. And we're going to kind of go over like this, where that other wing is. See? And by doing that, it's going to make it look like there's two wings. See? And you can kind of trim this. And butterflies, you know, each one's different. Each one's unique. And you may, see. And then right here where his body's going to be is going to be darker too. So you might want to do that a little bit right in there, like that. See? There. And you're like, what the... And well, that makes it look more three-dimensional, because as it goes away from you, it's going to get darker because it's curving down and there's no light. And then the opposite up here is going to be brighter. So you can actually take some white and some yellow and put it together and put it up here on the top of the wing, right? And if you get too much paint like that, you can just kind of skim over it. It's not that big of a deal. The brush is pretty forgiving. See? The direction of the paint's important too, because if you don't have it going the same direction as the wing, say if you just do this, it has a tendency to look a little less real. You don't need a chunk of paint in there. So you can just kind of do this number with it. Okay. And then we're going to go back. I like to work on a couple of things at the same time. Another trick to getting stuff done, see I'm adding some light in here, is that by doing different sections at the same time, one can dry and then the other one you can be working on, so you can get it done quickly instead of having to stop and wait all the time. And see, this is kind of that light yellow that we used in the middle of the flowers. I'm putting some up here, and you can also tell the direction I'm between the brush. It's the same direction as the wing, so it makes sense. Same thing like this. Okay. So now we have those nice orange wings. So now what we have to do is let those little suckers dry, and then we're going to make them butterflies.